Hello everyone on YouTube, MainManSWE here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always. This is known as statistics, it's math, I'm gonna tell you all about it today. No, but this is going to have to be taken with a grain of salt because I don't know how accurate the information is that we have received from Harada and the TEKKEN developers. But these are the TEKKEN 7 sales over time. And the reason I wanted to take a look at how the game is doing is because I'm desperately waiting for some news on TEKKEN 8. I really want to get, just something, like when can we expect the game? And from everything I've seen from Harada in interviews and basically everything else we can, judge by, I think TEKKEN 8 is very, very far away. And this is for multiple reasons. Harada said many years ago that he feels like fighting games are cannibalizing on each other. It's such a niche market that you don't want to release, a big, tentpole fighter in the same time frame as someone else, and most likely during the same year. So why is TEKKEN 8 far away? First off, there's been a leak from Capcom that Street Fighter 6 is slated for a third quarter of 2022 release. Or was it the fourth quarter at the absolute end of the year? I think it was during the fall. Quarter 3 2022, and that tells us, okay, Bandai Namco would not want to release during the same year, so maybe the year after, just like they did with TEKKEN 7. If you remember, February 2016 was when Street Fighter 5 dropped, and the year after, in June 2017, was when TEKKEN 7 dropped. So this is one indicator that the game will drop in 2023. But then Harada also said that it does not make business sense to look at TEKKEN 8 right now, release the game anytime soon. And why is that? So this is when it piqued my curiosity to take a look at how TEKKEN 7 has been doing. And the game is actually selling insanely well still, if we go by what the information Harada is giving us. And I think it's safe to say that it's most likely the biggest commercial success they've ever had with a TEKKEN game. If you remember, I think TEKKEN 3 and TEKKEN 5 were at 8 million sales. And Harada actually said not long ago that TEKKEN 7 is approaching 7 million sales. Approaching it pretty quickly. So I made a little chart here over the sales over time, and you can see that in quarter 4, so by the end of year 2018, it was at 3 million. And then, not long after, 4 million, God, sorry, it's so hard to read, 5 million, 6 million. So quarter 3 of 2020, it hit 6 million. And then Harada said that it's approaching 7 million, he said not long ago. So you see what that line looks like? The reason they are probably waiting with TEKKEN 8 is because TEKKEN 7 is still doing way too well. I mean, by the end of its lifespan, it will probably have hit 8 million, matching TEKKEN 5. And this is where someone told me, well, TEKKEN 7 is on sale all the time. So TEKKEN 5's 8 million sales will mean more in the end because that was most likely full price for longer than TEKKEN 7. TEKKEN 7 is constantly on sale. It's not even comparable. And I was like, you do have a point. But the thing is, TEKKEN 7 has all of its DLC. Even if it's on sale, you know that DLC money probably adds up to a shitload of cash. Because some of the DLC has been very successful. Armor King is a DLC character from Season 2, and he's one of the absolute most played characters when you look at the character usage data. So a shitload of people have bought the Armor King DLC. Leroy, we know he is popular. And there's so much DLC that you know that it's been popular, otherwise they wouldn't throw out that much DLC. So I honestly think it's safe to say that with almost 7 million sales and put in all of the DLC, I mean, I'm speculating, but there's a very good chance Tekken 7 is the most commercially successful Tekken game to date. And it probably had a smaller budget as well. Again, I'm speculating, but I would guess a smaller budget than Tekken 5. Or, I mean, I'm speculating here, but you get what I'm saying. It's like, what an enormous success this game is after the failure of Tag 2. And they convince the board of directors to please let us attempt another Tekken game. Tag 2 almost killed the franchise. It gets green-lighted by the directors at Bandai Namco, probably on a smaller budget. There's just so many reused assets in Tekken 7. You can tell it probably wasn't a huge budget. Story mode with a narrator half the time. And then they knock it out of the park. So this is most likely why they are so hesitant to give us a Tekken 8. I think that Tekken 7 is doing too well, which is why Harada says it does not make business sense to look at Tekken 8 just yet. And again, he does not want fighters to cannibalize on each other. They should be spaced out in terms of timed releases. And Street Fighter 6 is going to be the next big fighter to be released. And that's going to most likely come in 2022, if those leaks are anything to go by. And question is, will they want to release the year after at 2023? Or is it even going to be later than that? Considering what this looks like. The sales, I mean, it still hasn't flattened out yet. It's still skyrocketing. Even though you don't even have an active competitive scene right now due to COVID. And this actually has made me think, you know, with the release of Season 4, I was like, this is definitely the last season. But then apparently Harada said that he's, in that interview, we're looking at buffing online yet again. We might want to do something with customization. And considering Tekken 8, after everything I've said here, Tekken 8 is probably far away. I'm starting to think we might actually get a Season 5. With knowing all of this, I actually wouldn't be surprised if they decide to, you know what? We'll do another season. Because the game is selling so well, DLC is probably doing really well. So yeah, I just wanted to get my thoughts out there on this. I thought it was interesting. And just know that, you know, as a Tekken fan, it's kind of fun and cool to see that Tekken 7, not only did we think that, oh, you know, it's almost as successful as Tekken 3 and Tekken 5, which was incredible in of itself because those games did so well. And it's like, those games did well during the fighting game era, you know, the prime of fighting games, like the 90s. Fighting games were everywhere. You know, you had Jackie Chan movies everywhere. Martial arts were cool and hip. I mean, just look at The Matrix, you know, martial arts, that was the era, you know? And we didn't think this game was going to be able to come anywhere close, but Tekken 7 is just killing it. So awesome for all of us who are fans of a franchise. But at the same time, it's a double-edged sword. The game does so well that, well, Bandai Namco don't see any reason to throw out the Tekken 8 just yet. We're gonna keep milking this because, yeah, it's easy to see why. So yeah, good shit.